Welcome to the third section of this module on using books to connect with military children's lives. As we learned in the first two sections of this module, books have the power to help children cope with difficult situations. In this section, we will introduce you to an interactive database of children's books that are particularly helpful for military children. The learning objective for this section is to inform you about an interactive children's database for finding books that are particularly helpful for military children. You'll see how the database is organized and see how to use the searchable and interactive features. As this graphic shows, we used three primary sources to develop our database. We first consulted a number of existing children's book lists. For example, we consulted lists from the American Library Association, the National Association for the Education of Young Children, United Through Reading, 0 to 3, and the Center on the Social and Emotional Foundations of Early Learning. Several state cooperative extension systems also have developed book lists specifically for military children. For example, we included many of the suggested books and guides from the Operation Military Kids list from Michigan State University Extension. We then consulted book reviews such as the Horn Book Review and the International Reading Association. From all of these lists, we looked for books that were well reviewed and appeared on several lists. Finally, we got feedback from early childhood professionals about which books work best in their settings and how those books support children experiencing stressful situations. And it was important to include books that could touch all children, but also could be applied to the unique issues faced by military families. As we compiled the database, we developed 4 categories to organize the books. The first category consists of books that deal with emotions and feelings. As we've seen, the books have capacity to reflect and share common feelings. Help children accept the fact that we all face stressful situations and have strong feelings, and it's okay, and share strategies for coping with strong feelings. So here you'll find books like Mouse Was Mad, a book about a little mouse who is angry but can't figure out how to express it. He visits all the animals in the forest to find out how they express their anger. He eventually learns that each of us has to find our own way to do it, that it is acceptable to be angry, and that it's okay to express that anger in a positive way. So from the book, children can see that we all can feel angry at times, and it's okay. There are a number of other books in the database that deal with a variety of challenging feelings and emotions. The second category of books pertains to transitions and change. All children have to deal with transitions in their lives, be it going to school or being separated from a parent, having a new sibling in the family, the possible loss of a family member, or even moving. All children experience transitions and change and the emotions that go with it. However, many military children seem to experience these more often than non-military children. Carefully selected books can normalize these transitions, reflect common feelings during these transitions, and show successful coping. For example, Augustine is a little penguin who moved from the North Pole to the South Pole and is very worried about making friends. Augustine finds a creative way to make friends using their love of art. Another book about transition is The 10th Good Thing About Barney. This book tells about death, and in this case, it's about a pet cat named Barney. The little boy is given the task of thinking of 10 good things about Barney, because right now All he can think about is being angry at Barney for dying. Through this process, the boy finally comes to realize that a 10th good thing is that Barney will become part of the cycle of life, as his body will fertilize trees and flowers. The boy comes to understand and accept the death of Barney in his own way. Books like these can start conversations, tap into challenging feelings children may be experiencing, and show how to get through those difficult times. The third category of books in the database deals with staying connected in times of separation. Books listed here reflect feelings that can be experienced when separated from people and things important to children, offer reassurance, and show strategies for staying connected. No matter what, illustrates the unconditional love a parent has, whether they are with a child or whether the child misbehaves. The book brings the message that love is always there, no matter what. The invisible string shows that love is an invisible string connecting people who love each other, no matter how far away or how long they are apart. With an invisible string of love, children are never separated from the important people in their lives. The final category in the database is full of books specific for military children. These are books with military characters, settings, and themes that reflect military culture and life. Military children need to see their lives reflected in the books they see, and there are a number of military-related books in the database. For example, Captain Cat takes us on a tour of a military installation from the viewpoint of a cat. Children can learn that military installations have an order and structure that is familiar no matter where they are located. H is for Honor is an alphabet book that follows a military theme. Although it is geared at a school readiness skill, learning the alphabet, it uses military themes and terms to illustrate each letter. With books like these, military children can see themselves and things that are familiar to them. There are several key features that make the database unique. First, it is searchable. We'll show you how the search features work shortly, but anyone searching for a book can search by title, topic, or children's age. The database is also interactive. Our goal is to get a discussion going on what books seem to be working well and how the books are being used in early childhood settings. We encourage providers to report on their experiences with specific books and suggest ways to share the books with children. Finally, the database is geared at the unique issues faced by military families. There are a number of lists of good children's books, but this database contains books that are particularly helpful for military children and their families. Now we want to show you how the database works. You can find the database either through the Extension Alliance for Better Childcare or the Military Families Learning Network websites. When you click on the link, you will be brought to a page that looks like this, where you'll have several options for searching for books. You can search for books by the 4 categories we mentioned earlier, search for a specific title, or browse the list of titles. You can also search by a specific age. Hopefully, with all of these options, providers will find a book that is just what they need. Beyond simply searching for books, we've created the database to be interactive so that providers can share their experiences around a book, add story stretchers and activities, list questions they've used to start a conversation with children about the book, and suggest additional books that have worked well. For example, once you find a specific book, the page will look like this. You will see the title, category, and age range for the book, as well as a brief description. Down at the bottom, you can see a link where you can add a comment and join the discussions. And you can also rate the book, so providers have several ways to add to the conversation. If you click the Add a Comment link, you will see 3 ways to do it. You can list the questions you use to start a conversation with children on the topic. You can tell how you connected the book to other curriculum areas and activities. And you can suggest additional ideas for using the book. We hope this will be a valuable feature for providers wanting to be involved in discussions around using literature with military children. We encourage you to add your thoughts. We also want to keep expanding this database. If you have a great book to share that isn't in our database, you will see a tab to suggest a new entry. It is a great way to build the database. Before a book is added, all suggestions will first go through a review process by a team of early learning specialists, providers, and Department of Defense staff. This should give providers confidence that the book has been tested in the classroom and ideas are developmentally sound. You can even volunteer to be on our review panel. In conclusion, our goals for this section were to introduce you to how the database is organized and show you how to use the searchable and interactive features. We're excited about the database, and we hope providers find it helpful. Please let us know if you have suggestions or ideas for improving it.